I cannot enter. behavior. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked, all right. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked. It's locked, all right. Skals can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir.
Why do you have to walk?
Because these poor fellows...
Why close the hospital?
It was for sanitary reasons after the...
Have we met before?
I don't think so.
When we first talked, you said...
Funny story, sir. Why after I left the... That's
Please show me what you have.
Of course. It...
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Brilliant minds in London at Pembroke.
Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new...
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe
What is it you really want?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient.
This personal involvement could also...
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking...
Tell me, Mr. Fiddick.
Our first diagnosis was
But why would he hide such...
Because he is a proud
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern...
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside.
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover...
So you believe it's just a question?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
I don't
question.
And what exactly?
I served.
Be careful.
I only.
Knowledge has...
It is not a question.
It's...
I refuse.
We can at least agree... Tell me, Waverly.
Strickland.
Are you...
Harvey Fit.
And...
Rivalry.
If you have a problem with me...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your...
I know we... Aren't you...
Don't be ridiculous.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
What of my own life?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of...
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else?
Would you say you and Mr...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate.
And why do you believe you're a vampire? I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
Disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood. How close are...
To wait for...
Aren't you afraid?
She's quite harmless.
Goodbye for now.
Disgust on every street
I have wasted
corner.
too much energy.
Daily routine.
It's locked, all right.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
It's locked. Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed.
What do you mean? You remained perfectly nice.
Thank you, Doctor.
How do
I feel like
you're in good...
Thank you, sir.
What do you...
I manage a night asylum for the...
Are you a...
Not at all, Doctor.
Why didn't you use your cross?
That's a very straight...
Who should I...
Not really.
How did you...
I had received...
Did he abduct you? You dared to enter this...
I'm just a man trying to help his friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Ham. It's locked, all right.
On every street corner.
I wish I could be sick again.
Daily routine.
Boil with the fever.
It's locked. It's locked. It's locked, all right. Good evening, Nurse Hawk.
Good evening, Doc.
You...
It's so...
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
I wish I could believe you. But what if...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
So many deaths.
My blood and soul.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, Nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor.
Duty calls?
Many thanks, Doctor. Dr. Reed, may I help you?
For how long?
I first of all...
And before you...
If you must know...
Well, Dr.
Not in an...
Well, Dr...
Not...
What about...
Dr. Reed,
How is...
everybody what?
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane?
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Tell me about yourself.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your...
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize...
Not really.
I...
Yes, maybe.
How...
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no...
Is there something in particular that's...
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
What do you mean?
She
I share your
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would...
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of...
Good evening, sir.
What can you tell...
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expense.
May I ask if you...
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more...
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here...
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean...
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Tell me about yourself.
I don't want to talk.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
How painful.
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the
I cannot enter.
The daily routine.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Yeah. Damn.
Disgust on every street corner. Daily routine.
It's locked.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time.
There is no need to apologize, Ed.
Very well.
Please.
The Pembroke only...
A spokesman or politician is what you need.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need something?
I have just...
Then ask away.
Since...
Well?
Where... What? may...
Certainly.
That...
I feel it wasn't...
Yet the Since you seem quite...
As...
The sun. The morning following my...
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality.
Must I take...
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man...
He was a...
Where...
The name...
Just for clarity.
A skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain...
We'll see each other again. It's locked, all right. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor...
The world...
You make me blush.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have...
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade...
I will gladly answer
Have any of the...
These poor...
The world would be...
You make me
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your...
These past insufferable weeks.
If we're dealing with...
As immortal tradition...
Who would...
Even if it were the...
What are your
As the newly...
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care.
If that was...
I'll meet that woman now.
My life as... Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed? My situation... Is our little mystery closer to being solved?
I think of...
My Is our little mystery...
I think...
My situation...
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you heard rumors...
No, Doctor.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand...
No, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say...
I'm not proud of...
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett's does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
Goodbye, nurse.
This is no time for self.
I cannot enter.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have met...
She's a fat...
Is
Lady...
I have met Lady Ash.
She's a fascinating...
Is she...
Lady Ash... Then ask her...
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.